function, or not? This is what we're going to talk about today. Hello there, students. How are you doing? I am Teacher Karine, your online math tutor. One of the basic topics in mathematics is functions. Before we proceed to the definition of functions, let's have these examples. Number one, each student gets one desk. One student is associated to one desk. This is an example of one-to-one. 1 to 1. One student to one desk. Brenda bought apple, orange, and banana. Brenda is associated to apple, orange, and banana. Since Brenda is paired to 3 fruits, apple, orange, and banana, this is an example of one-to-many. 2 kids are asked to share one bread. 2 kids are associated to one bread. Since there are 2 kids which are being paired to one bread, this example is an example of many-to-one. One-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-one are what we call relation. A relation is a rule that relates values from a set of values to a second set of values. In these examples, one student is related to one desk. Brenda is related to apple, orange, and banana. 2 kids are related to one bread. There is a relationship between the 2 sets. But what is the connection of relation to function? Function is a special type of relation. All functions are relation. What is a function? A function is a correspondence between 2 sets of elements such that with each element in the first set, there corresponds to one and only one element in the second set. Let's highlight these words. Correspondence between 2 sets of elements. Each element in the first set, there corresponds to one and only one element in the second set. Let's take it one by one. Correspondence between 2 sets of elements. Correspondence. When you say correspondence, there is a relation, association. Let's say set A and set B for 2 sets of elements. There is a relation between 2 sets of elements, which are set A and set B. There is an association between set A and set B. And there is a condition. Each element in the first set is paired to one and only one element in the second set. Every element in the first set should be paired to one element in the second set. Each element in set A should be paired to one element in set B. Again, let's have these examples. One-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-one. Which of these are functions? One-to-one. Does it satisfy the given definition? One element in the first set should be paired to one element in the second set. So one student to one desk. One-to-one is considered as function. One student is paired to one desk only in the second set. What about one-to-many? Brenda is related to apple, orange, and banana. Brenda is in the first set, and in the second set, we have apple, orange, banana. We have one-to-many. Yun si Brenda, nakapair ba sa isa lang na prutas? No, there are 3. Apple, orange, and banana. Therefore, one-to-many is not a function. How about many-to-one? Is many-to-one a function? 2 kids are related to one bread. 2 kids, isa lang ba yung kapair niya sa second set? Isang bread lang ba? If yes, therefore, many-to-one is a function. So from here, we can say that one-to-one and many-to-one are functions. One-to-many is not a function. It's just only a relation. Function. The first set is the domain, And the second set is the range, meaning whatever the values in the first set or all of the elements in the first set, ang tawag dun ay domain. All of the elements, all of the values in the second set, ang tawag dun ay range. So here, first set. Ano ba yung mga first set dito sa example? We have student, Brenda, and 2 kids. So those are domain. Next, what about the range? Second set, we have desk, fruits, we have apple, orange, and banana in the second example. And in the third example, we have one bread. So yan yung tinatawag nating range. So again, one-to-one and many-to-one are functions. Mathematically speaking, pag sinabi nating domain, lahat ng value ng x, ang tawag ay domain. Or here, x is equal to domain. So x is also called domain. F of x can be written as y. So ang tawag sa y ay range. Sometimes, in other references, ang tawag sa x, pag sa discussion ng function ay independent variable. Ang tawag naman sa y ay dependent variable. So again, x is the domain and y is the range. There are 4 ways in representing a function. Number 1, you can represent a function verbally, algebraically, numerically, and visually. Representing a function verbally. When you say verbally, you represent a function in textual form. To find the Fahrenheit of equivalent to Celsius temperature, multiply the Celsius temperature by 9/5, then add 32. Though there is a simple equation for this, using verbal form in representing a function, you just describe the equation in getting the Fahrenheit given the Celsius. From this example, you can also write that algebraically in an equation form. F of x is equal to 9/5 times x plus 32. In this equation, the domain or the x is the Celsius and the f of x or y, which is the range, is the Fahrenheit. From that example, you can write the function numerically in tabular form. When you have the values of x such as 0, 5, 10, by using the equation, you can get the values of f of x. When x is equal to 0, your f of x is 32. We have an ordered pair, 0, 32. Kapag yung x mo ay 5, you can get y given that equation. So we have 5, 41. And the third, given value of x, which is 10, you can get the value of f of x by using the equation. You can have there 50. So you can have 0.10, 50. So we have 3 ordered pairs here, 0, 32, 5, 41, and 10, 50. So you can write the function like that. And the last one, so from that tabular form, you can get ordered pairs. And here, visually, the points are plotted in the Cartesian coordinate plane. We have the x-axis, the horizontal axis, and the vertical axis. We have the y-axis. The points are 0, 32, and 5, 41. So again, there are 4 ways in representing a function. Number 1, you can represent the function verbally, algebraically, numerically, and visually. So those are the ways on how to represent a function. Identify the domain and range. In the given set A, we have the ordered pairs, points 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1. Sinabi natin kanina na pag sinabing domain, yan yung mga values or elements sa unang set at yung mga range, yan yung mga values or elements sa ikalawang set. Dito sa ordered pairs, yan yung mga numbers sa una. Ang tawag sa kanila ay domain. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. What about the numbers? 2, 3, 4, 1. Those are range. As you can see, sa pagsulat ng set, dapat mauuna yung pinakamababang numero hanggang sa pinakamataas. So here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Ang domain mo, 1, 2, 3, 4. At ang range naman ay 1, 2, 3, 4. Paano naman kung kailangan nating malaman kung function siya or hindi? We have the same example, set A, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 3, 4, 4, 1. We have identified the domain as 1, 2, 3, 4. At ang range naman, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Pwede natin gamitin yung arrow diagram. Ano ba yung arrow diagram? I-pair mo yung domain sa range, i-arrow mo siya. I-pair mo siya using an arrow diagram para malaman natin kung 1-to-1 siya or many-to-1. Kasi kung 1-to-1 or many-to-1 function, kapag 1-to-many naman, that's not a function. 1-to-1 is paired to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 1. What type of relation is this? This is 1-to-1, therefore, is this a function? Yes. Identify the domain and range. Students, we have Manny, Mike, Cyril, Chad, and their ages are 25, 24, 24, 23 respectively. So we have to identify the domain. Those are Manny, Mike, Cyril, and Chad. What about the range? Their ages. We have 23, 24, 25. In the given table, you started from 25, 24, 24, 23. There are two times na inulit yung 24. In writing in the range, just write it once and you have to start from the least number to the highest number given. We have 23, 24, and 25. Is this a function? Let's use an arrow diagram. We have the domain and the range. We have to pair the students to their ages. So we have si Manny, 25, si Mike, 24, si Cyril, 24, and si Chad, 23. Isa-isayin natin. Dapat isa lang yung ka-pair ng kada element sa domain. Si Manny, 25. Si Mike, isa lang ba yung ka-pair niya? That is 24. Si Cyril, isa lang din yung ka-pair niya sa second set. And si Chad, ganun din. But this time, this relation is many-to-one. As you can see, Mike and Cyril are both 24. So this one is many-to-one. Is this a function? Is many-to-one a function? Yes. Now, let's have this example. Carrot, tomato, cabbage, bell pepper, and their colors. Domain. Carrot, tomato, cabbage, and bell pepper. For the range, their colors violet, green, red, orange. Now, is this a function? Let's use an arrow diagram. Si carrot naka-pair lang sa orange. What about si tomato? This time, dalawa yung ka-pair ni tomato sa second set. We have green and red. Also sa cabbage, violet and green, dalawa din yung ka-pair niya sa second set. So from here, we can say that this example is not a function because this is an example of one to many. Tomato to green and red. Cabbage to violet and green. So there are two colors being paired from tomato and cabbage. So this is not a function. Now, it's your turn. There are 3 items to be answered. You have to identify the domain and range. You have to answer also which of the following is a function. Paano kung ang given ay graph? Paano mo malalaman kung function or not? Using the vertical line test, you can determine if the given graph is a function. The graph represents a function if and only if each vertical line intersects the graph at one point only. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung graph, nag-drawing ka ng patayong line kahit saang part niya, dapat yung intersection point ng vertical line dun sa graph dapat isa lang. Let's have this example. If you draw a vertical line on this part of the graph, you can have one intersection point only. What about on this part? Again, 1 point. This part, 1 point. And on that part, we have only 1 point. Is this a function? Yes, because if you're going to draw anywhere in the graph a vertical line, you can have only one intersection point. What about this example? Using the vertical line test, using that, drawing a line, vertical line, you can have that intersection, 1 point only. What about on this part of the graph? Now, there are 2 points. Given this point, or ordered pairs, we have -1, 2, and -1, -1. Ang unang number or yung domain niya is -1, which is the value of x, at merong dalawang value si y na nakapair sa -1. That is 2 and -1, which are the values of y or the range. Therefore, from here, kung i-analyze natin, si -1 nakapair sa dalawang numbers, which are -1 and +2. So from here, pwede mo nang masabi na yung given na function, or I mean the given graph is not a function. Isa pa. Yan. 2, 2, 2, -1. Again, there are 2 intersection points. Now, this is not a function. Now it's your turn. There are 3 items. All you have to do is to identify which of the following are functions. Use the vertical line test. Paano kung ang given ay isang equation? Paano mo malalaman kung ang given ay function or not? There are 2 conditions for you to identify whether the given equation is a function or not. Number 1, if there are 2 variables, x and y, and number 2, kapag yung degree ng y ay 1. Pag sinabing degree ng y ay 1, yung exponent ng y ay 1. Kapag wala kang nakitang exponent, therefore, ang degree or ang exponent niya ay 1. Let's have this example. Y equals 2x plus 1. Meron bang dalawang variable na x and y? Meron. We have y equals 2x plus 1. The red and the blue one. Yung y ba nasa unang degree or nasa first degree? Exponent niya ba ay 1? Kapag wala kang nakitang exponent, therefore, the y variable is on the first degree. Therefore, letter A is a function. What about this example? X squared plus y squared equals 1. Meron bang x and y variables? Meron. What about yung degree ng y? 1 ba? No. The exponent of y is 2. Therefore, the second example is not a function. What about the third one? Y equals the square root of x plus 1. Meron bang dalawang variable? Meron. We have y and x. Yung degree ba ng y ay 1? Yes. Exponent ng y ay 1. Therefore, the third given is a function. What about this one? Y equals 2y plus 1 all over y squared minus 1. Meron bang dalawang function? Wala. Walang x. Y lang ang given. And also, merong tatlo. We have y on the first degree and y on the second degree on the denominator part. Therefore, this given is not a function. Now, it's your turn. There are 5 items. Which of the following are functions? You have to consider the 2 conditions before you say if the given equation is a function or not. Ang mga dapat nating tandaan sa function ay, number 1, the function is a correspondence or relation between 2 sets of elements. Function is a special type of relation. Number 2, each element in the first set is paired to one and only one element in the second set. 1-to-1 and many-to-1 lang ang function. Ang lahat ng values or elements sa first set, ang tawag dun ay domain, at ang lahat ng values or elements sa second set naman ay range. Kapag ang given ay graph, you have to use vertical line test. If you draw a vertical line, any part of the graph, and if that line intersects the graph at 1 point only, therefore that graph is a function. If the given is an equation, and if you want to identify if that equation is a function, you have to follow the two conditions. Number one, if there are two variables, x and y, and number two, if the degree of y is 1. Or meaning, kapag ang exponent ng y ay 1, then the given equation is a function. And that's it for today. I hope you learned from this video. If you have any questions, just comment it down and I will answer you. Again, I am Teacher Karine, your online math tutor. Bye. Have a safe day.